So the aim for this profile pack was to create heavy tones that are ready to sit in the mix. I've used some of my favourite guitar amplifiers, cabinets, microphones and overdrive pedals to create 53 unique profiles. I've A/B'd against some of my favourite recorded guitar tones, as well as some of the tones that I've used myself in the past on recordings. What I did was try and get as close as possible to these tones at the source. Then once I was happy, record these into Cubase, and then using a frequency analyzer and some EQ, make some further adjustments to get even closer. Then once I'd profiled these tones on the Kemper, I'd add some EQ at the end of each profile and make these same EQ moves on the Kemper that I'd made in Cubase. For the most part, this EQ is just doing some low and high pass filtering and then just notching out certain frequencies here and there. Some of these profiles may have more than one or two EQs at the end, but for the most part, each of these EQs is only doing about 2 bands each. Also, some of the profiles may have an EQ before the amp section where you might put an overdrive pedal. I've used an EQ here as more like a clean boost when I haven't used a boost pedal in front of the amp when making the profile. It's also quite common these days at the mastering stage of a mix or on a mix bus to have some EQ boosting some low end and high end, which is something I've also beared in mind when making these profiles. So it's a mixture of 6 different guitar amplifiers, 4 different guitar cabinets, 3 different microphones, 3 different boost pedals to create 53 unique profiles. So when I say unique profiles, this means that no profile shares the same amplifier settings or overdrive pedal settings, and when it comes to the cabinets, they can either be a blend of 2 different cabs at once, or 2 different microphones at once, or 2 different microphones on 2 different cabinets blended, or just slightly different mic placement on each cab, so that no profile will have the exact same cab setup. So on the surface there are 53 profiles, but if you click on either amplifier or cabinet on the Kemper unit and scroll through, you can select any other amp or cab from any other profile to create even more possibilities. I've personally been using the Kemper live and in the studio for almost 2 years now, and it's just great to be able to have that kind of control over your tone. For instance, if you're playing a festival and you've just got a short changeover and your sound guy doesn't have enough time to mic up the cabs the way he wants to, or do a full sound check and EQ the guitars how he wants, the great thing about the Kemper is you can just have a DI coming out the back, have everything you want EQ wise in the unit, and your sound guy just has to crank the volume up. For me personally, getting a really good rhythm tone is what's most important. But I do find 9.9 times out of 10, if you've got a really good, well-rounded rhythm tone, it's going to work well for leads as well. I just end up just boosting some more mid-range or volume or gain, just to help it cut through a bit more. I've also included a PDF with this pack, which just includes some cool tips and tricks on how to get your guitars to sit well in a mix. So here are some examples of some of my favourite profiles.